How do you work 40 plus hours per week without dying? Because not working 40 plus hours/week results in actual dying. I used to work 40 to 60 hours a week by being strategic with my days off/holidays, and with my breaks. For example, an extra 2 hours at the end of the day, on top of my usual shift, wasn't too bad when it came with another 15-minute break to break it up a bit. You think of your work in blocks, so in the morning you're working while thinking of that breakfast break, then that lunch break, etc. Then you go home and sleep, and if you're working towards something then you just focus on just getting those hours done. And of course you don't put everything you've got into the job, do your work and no more. Lots of water breaks and bathroom breaks help too. I worked in collections then, so it was understood occasionally we had to take a moment to compose ourselves after a particularly nasty case too, basically an opportunity to take a little time out. This, but also if your work is on a computer and the company doesn't watch you too closely, you can do a lot of multitasking. Renew your car registration online, buy gifts online, pay bills online, etc. If you work from home, you can also take breaks to throw in a load of laundry or dishes. What is this? A serious answer for coping with normal or long working hours. Get out of here with your logic. This is Reddit, not Quora. It's important to learn what tasks need your full effort and which you can just mail in. I'm pretty young, and I've found my peers in the workforce really struggle with perspective. They worry whether one metric on one slide is correct and spend days working on it. If they'd put in a best guess and disclaimer, nobody would have cared, and they might have spent the extra time doing something above and beyond to impress. Once you have a good reputation at work, it's a lot easier to slack off when you get the chance or need to. Too many people don't understand this. Spending 5 minutes to fix a production down issue is much more appreciated than spending 2 days tinkering with something that people forget 5 minutes after you present. Another thing is to always broadcast what you're doing and what you accomplished. Some of the broadcasting is to give other people that rely on what you're working on a heads up on when to expect stuff, some of it is so your manager knows you're doing stuff. You can't be evaluated fairly if nobody knows what you're doing or what you've done. Yeah. This is really hard to teach people. You need to work hard on the right things and the right way. A lot of people think just working hard is what they should be doing, but you can be working hard and not doing great at your job if that work isn't being applied properly. I like the part where you choose to say doing someone above and beyond. Face with tears of joy. Prioritize and execute, most critical, and work your way down the list. Rinse and repeat every day or whenever the situation warrants it, if sooner. A lot of people have issue with this method. Most of it seems to come down to figuring out what's critical/priority vs general bullshit. So many people get caught up in the bullshit while ignoring the critical/priority stuff. Excellent advice. Essentially, work smarter, not harder, but more practical. I work a lot less than a lot of my peers with similar or sometimes better performance results simply because I can identify what actually matters and what really doesn't. For my daughter, I don't ever want her to have the childhood I had. Going without heat in the winter and air in the summer, deep South US, never being able to participate in anything, constantly begging relatives to buy school uniforms or any clothes at all for that matter, saving half my lunch from school so I would have at least something to put in my belly before bed. Nope. Never gonna happen as long as I'm alive. That's why I'm working. No, it's living that results in actual dying. Every time. Same. Also reminds me of that Simpsons episode where Homer has pictures of Maggie along with "Do It For Her." 37 HRS per week here. Not dead yet. Depends on where you live. I work 38,5 hours a week. Like lots and lots of people here. And it's full time. In some companies 35 hours a week is full time. My husband works. I have no idea, to be honest, because his hobby is what he is doing for work, so, it's not easy knowing if he is still working or already enjoying his free time. It is possible if you get paid a good wage for the hours you work. Government-regulated legal meth. You said the quiet part out loud. Not dying physically is actually pretty easy. Not dying emotionally is next to impossible. Whatever, man. 40 plus is unpleasant, but you're phrasing the question as though 45 is brutal. I'm not a pro-work, hustle culture advocate, but a little over 40 isn't a lot. I worked 80 for a year. How old are you, and how long have you been working? I remember being a new graduate and feeling the same way. You get used to it soon enough. But what really helps is having a job you, at least kinda, enjoy, and one that does not leave you exhausted at the end of the day.